you have a plan to increase security in places like that?
The district has up-to-date and well-tested emergency response plans.
Milliseconds beating Jackson. Tighten it open.
This program produced by Lenape District Television.
I'm Jimmy Freeser along with Scott Glossner.
Hey, Jimmy.
Scott, what can we expect from today's game?
Jimmy, I expect a real competitive game here today. Lenape coming off a big win Monday, scoring 5 goals against Cherry Hills, but they're up against a very good Shawnee team. They beat them twice last year. Shawnee remembers that, and I look for a game today that we may see only 1 or 2 goals total. So sit back and enjoy it, Jim.
All right, thanks, Scott. We'll be back for the beginning of the game.
Today's game on LDTV Sports, sponsored by Deborah Heart and Lung Center, where experience matters. 800-555-1990. www.deborah.org. Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. All the best, all right here. 215-336-3003. Or on the web at www.pwpm.net. Comegno Law Group, specializing in general and special education law, representing individuals, families, public boards of education, and independent schools. 888-313-IDEA or ComegnoLaw.com. Medford Village Car Care, serving the area's car care needs for 30 years. Located at 11 North Main Street in Medford. 609-654-4023. And on the web at mvcc-nj.com. Rothman Institute, the official team physicians of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers. For orthopedic excellence, think Rothman first. www.rothmaninstitute.com. And by Heads Up, Eyes Forward. Please never drive distracted. www.lrhsd.org/heads-up. For information on how your business can become a sponsor of LDTV Sports, contact Joe Malagrana, LDTV Underwriting Manager, at 609-268-2000, extension 8680, or by email jmalagrana@lrhsd.org.
And we're back here at Shawnee High School, awaiting the beginning of this interdivisional match. A few quick notes here for the beginning of the game. See, Lenape, who was 2-0 against Shawnee last year, so we're going to see if Shawnee can try to even or completely change that record. We talked to JT Mogan of the Shawnee Renegades before today's game, and he says that coming off of a big win against Washington Township last week, they just want to stay focused for tonight. And it's now time for the AXA Equitable Sideline Report. Providing millions of customers with life insurance, annuities, and other needs-based products since 1859. AXA Equitable. Be life confident. That's 732-452-7275. And let's send it over to Bonnie Brager for her sideline reports.
Thanks, guys. I had the chance to speak with both Coach Foley from Lenape High School and Coach Franks from Shawnee High School. They both would like to start off the game with high intensity and focus so that they can have a good defense and a good offense to start out the game. They do not particularly want to change anything about the games, though Shawnee would like to be able to start the game with high intensity so that they can come back and win the games. But Lenape would like to keep it as well, so it should be a good game, as usually rival games are. And they both would like to have very strong plays throughout the game and stick to their defensive skills and stick to the shape of the game. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. As we see Shawnee, and Lenape is going to head out there too soon for the rules from the referees. Nice day here at Shawnee, maybe a little hot, but few breezes make it bearable out here in Medford, New Jersey. And it's now time for the AXA Equitable Keys to the Game, providing millions of customers with life insurance, annuities, and other needs-based products since 1859. AXA Equitable, be life confident at 732-452-7275. Scott, Lenape would like to defend well as a team.
Yeah, that means that each and every position has to defend. You can't let Shawnee get the odd number advantages.
Shawnee wants to have discipline in the transition game.
Yeah, don't get too much separation between your backs and your forwards.
And both teams want to finish scoring chances.
Scoring chances will be limited here today. Both teams play a very solid defense. So when you get that chance to bang one home, you better take advantage of it.
All right, thank you, Scott and AXA Equitable, for the keys to the game. And we will be right back for the beginning of the game.
Isn't a kid having a pet wild boar a rite of passage?
Sure. We experimented with omnivorous swine as teenagers, right?
Maybe we should get some help.
What would the neighbors say?
Some things can't wait. If your teen is trying drugs, you can do something about it.
I bet it's just a phase.
Yeah. Ooh.
Find out more from the partnership and our community partners.
And we are now back at Shawnee High School, just about ready for today's game.
So Shawnee pretty highly ranked, Jack. I was looking at, Jimmy. Fourth in South Jersey's Curry Post ranking going into this week. Coming off a big win over Washington Township earlier this week. So Lenape's got their work cut out for them, but they had that way last year. And as I said in our opening, they won both games last year, both close scoring games. And Shawnee, Coach Franks has to have told his team, and the returners have to know that they better give it all today, because even though on paper they might be the little bit better team, Lenape is a difficult team to score a lot of goals on. So, and as we said in the opener, scoring chances I think will be limited. So when you get that opportunity, you got to take advantage of it and put it in the back of the net.
In both nets today for Lenape, Colin Day will be at goalie for Lenape, and he's a junior. And Shawnee's going to send out Mark Hartman, the senior, to cover their net today too.
Last minute little huddle up by the Shawnee players. Lenape players already out in their positions. Coach Franks of Shawnee and Coach Foley of Lenape have gotten their last minute instructions to each of their teams. Looks like Shawnee is going to get the possession, or at least the opening kick. And for that opening kick, and we get ready to do live coverage here today of Lenape at Shawnee in boys soccer. With your play-by-play, it's Jimmy Freeze.
And there's JT Mogan with the ball, number 13. Sending it over to Nick Falcone. Caleb Longshaw sends it toward midfield. As Lenape picks it up. It's Jack Bloomberg on the far side to gather that. And Mogan back in the middle. Player to watch definitely today, number 13.
I think you'll see it in the first 5-6 minutes of this game, unless something weird happens. You're going to see a lot of plays between the 35s, maybe 40s even. You know, unless you see the occasional long ball to try to make a break.
Brett Frunk and Brian Lorenz over on this side.
Lorenz with a real nice bit of footwork there. Good speed down the left side.
Bringing it. Helped by Caleb Longshaw.
Oh.
Quick. Yep. Shot by Dan Goodson, the junior.
Real nice cross there. Header just went wide of the goal. Nice play. Brian Lorenz really made that play with a lot of speed down the left side. Side closest to us on the field.
Nick McAndrew sends it away. Pietro Gambino going for that. Gathered up by Brett Funk.
Lenape uses their defender to kick on the 6-yard or the goal kicks. Some teams use a defender, some teams use their goalkeeper, so it'll be interesting to see. The first time I've seen Shawnee and Lenape this year.
Billy Mulvihill sends it in, and he's got the ball now. Bailey Pringle getting into it with Billy Bruno. Mogan gathers. And ball sent to the far right corner. Picked up by Brett Funk.
And that's just going to go over the end line and result in the goal kick for the Renegades.
Mark Hartman's going to show off the boot for the first time today as he sends it toward midfield. Header from Jackson Goldman. Head out.
Yep, goes over the sideline, so it'll be a throw in for Lenape.
McAndrew rolls it to Mulvihill. Sends it in, and that's Lorenz. Lorenz has been around the ball so far. There's Mogan. Passes the Longshall, too long for him. As Colin Day picks it up to reset for Lenape.
Quickly rolled it up the left side, didn't boot it down the center, as a lot of goalies do. He thought he could make a play down the left side. Quickly defended by the Renegades.
Goldman on the far side working with Falcone. Defended closely by Lipsky. Dan Goodson to Falcone, who will send it toward the goal, and that's an easy stop for Colin Day. Colin Day sends it all the way over to Falcone.
It was a long, nice boot. Good foot there.
That'll be tossing around. Sent out by Dan Unger.
All right, Renegades looking to set something up as they move across into Lenape territory.
Longshall hurt you with his speed. Are you showing a couple glimpses of that just now? Dan Unger will send it in for Shawnee.
Strong throw.
Headed out by Lenape.
Yeah, Lipsky with a nice move to the ball before Shawnee could get to it.
Out on Shawnee. Lenape sends it in. Alkali messing around over there with Falcone. Gambino with the ball. Sends it to Mogan. Brett Funk heads it over. And if he taps that, that was win. Lorenz passes it in to Longshall. Gambino at midfield.
5.5 minutes played so far, and it really, except for the one attempt by the one header that went wide for Shawnee, we really haven't had any scoring chances other than that one. As I said, they'll probably be few and far between.
Bloomberg and Falcone over there, and Bloomberg's going to win the battle. Substitution here Let's see Elkley step out. Guerrieri, Jack Guerrieri, the senior, will come in for Elkley. As it's out on Shawnee. Headed by Mogan. Brett Funk. Toward Lorenz. Good defense by Lenape. Guerrieri falling down. Nice play here. Jackson Goldman sends it over to Lorenz. Lorenz probably hit that a little too hard than he wanted to. Right into the hands of Colin Day. Scott, we already talked about the keys to the game, but like you said, if this is going to be a real defensive matchup, what is key to these teams? What do they need to do to get those scoring chances?
Yeah, you kind of need to isolate, you know, get a 2-on-1 on one side or a 3-on-2 or something like that, where you can break a man through. You know, you can't go behind the defense because that's offside. So, you know, like on the first goal or on the first scoring chance, you know, Lorenz had good speed down and then had an odd man, made it an odd man situation. And he was able to get the pass across when he had that advantage. And unfortunately for Shawnee, the header went wide. But unless you take advantage of the mismatches, so to speak, and you have to set up those mismatches, you know, because there's a lot of marking going on, staying man on man almost. So you got to find a, you know, trying to find a weak spot in the defense to isolate, you know, make it a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 on the side and cross, find an open man in the center, get traffic in front of the goalie. You know, it's not unlike hockey sometimes.
We'll see if those teams can do that soon. No rush yet, though. Bailey Pringle looks like he hit that out. That'll still be Shawnee ball. Dan Unger on the pass in. Throw in. Nice throw. Falcone heads it. And it'll go past the net. Falcone using his height advantage to get up and head that ball just a little bit too much to the right. Booted away by Lenape. It'll be out on Lenape also.
So as I said, you know, Jimmy, other than that first chance, we've been playing, what, between the 30s, really?
Mm-hmm.
The only action we've seen for goalies in the last, since that play was been, you know, balls rolled back to them, or, you know, the one play where Shawnee just tapped, you know, hit a little too hard and it rolled harmlessly in on Day, and I think that's what you're going to see most of the game. Good team defense.
Funk gathers the ball. Guerrieri was playing tough on him. O'Brien hits it over to Bloomberg. Bloomberg stopped by Falcone just to go out of bounds. On the far side, Lenape gathering the ball. Unger, nice play. Looks to be a corner kick for Lenape.
Okay, now this will be interesting. We'll see what kind of strategy they employ here. A lot of teams will try to drive the ball, you know, towards the far goal post. Usually you'll find the goalie standing on the far post. And it looks like Hartman is about midway in the net, it looks like, right about the halfway spot. And now it's a question of finding an open position, or if you're going to get some air underneath of it, look to get a header in, or sometimes they'll tap it back, but that doesn't look like it. This is a low liner hoping to get through, and then it's defended nicely by the Renegades.
Yep, Shawnee had Andrew Lipsky's ball all covered as Lorenz hustles over. Send it out. Mulvihill. Pass it in, number 3. the senior. God bless you there, Scott. And again. And Mulvihill sends it in.
Pardon me.
Caleb trying to. And that'll go out. Jack Bloomberg is going to send it in for Lenape. Headed by Goodson on Shawnee to go right out. And another throw in. Funk's Chester's going to head out. And Lipsky's going to give another corner.
See if they can get a little more pressure off this corner than they did off the last one.
Sends it. Nice play by Shawnee.
Again.
Yep, that was Pietro Gambino to send that out of danger for Caleb Longshaw. Now working on a 3-on-1. Finds some help. Couldn't get the best pass away. Mogan at midfield. 50 loose ball. And Lorenzo let it roll. There's Eric Bolognan getting the balls. Just as important as the players. Lorenz over to Goldman. Goodson's got to hustle that down. Bloomberg shoots it away. But Dan Unger heading it out. Tried to save it, couldn't. Sean Donnelly. Pass in from Lenape. It's headed away there by Unger. And here's a good chance for Lenape, but that was stopped by Brett Funk. And here comes Mogan. Hard hit on Mogan there. That was from Guerreri. Mogan and Lorenz. Lorenz over to Funk. Unger. And Mogan splitting the defenders. Saved by McAndrew.
Yeah, Nick looked like Nick McAndrew almost picked it up with his hands like he was a goalie, and he said, "Oh, I can't do that."
Billy Bruno sends it over to Eckenhoff. Billy Bruno at midfield.
Tyler Wynn getting ready to come back in.
Gambino with the ball.
Except for those two corner kicks, you know, Lenape really hasn't even penetrated inside the 15, really. Just heard Coach Foley tell Tyler Wynn when he told him to go in, he needs some active people up front. So it doesn't sound like he's very happy with their passivity, might be a good word, in the offensive end.
Nick Falcone passes it into Unger. Let's take a look at that Ivy Rehab replay. Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy on the web at ivyrehab.com. And yeah, that's Guerreri.
Yep.
On Mogan, getting a little physical. That's what we expected to see out of this interdivisional game.
Yeah, district game, division game in the conference. Same group in the playoffs. You know, all of these games have implications when these two teams meet each other. beyond just bragging rights for the district.
Pass from Goldman was too hard and maybe a little bit too fast for Longshaw. We're going to see some new faces for Shawnee also. So we're going to see number 15, Ryan Artis, come in. Number 23, Kane Feutner. And number 4, James Murray. All underclassmen stepping in. We'll see who they take out in a moment. As Bailey Pringle on the far side sends it over to Longshaw. Longshaw looking for a little action here. Mogan trying to save it.
It went behind him.
Nice header there by Funk. On the move. Funk to Unger. Brian Lorenz. A little tough, Guerreri. A little hard of a kick there against number 2, Jackson Goldman. And another roller there for Day.
Yeah, Caleb Longshaw didn't really have much of a chance. I mean, he was marked pretty well. He did get the ball. At least he got the ball towards the goal. Pretty easy, not a pretty easy, it was a very easy save for Day.
Gambino at midfield. Mogan and Lorenz. Jackson Goldman. Ball hit off his foot too hard, bounced over him, lost possession. Guerreri sends it to Eckenhoff as Unger pushes to Pringle. Back to Gambino. Mogan hustling. Gambino to Mogan to Lorenz. Lorenz's pass to Goodson. Ball up in the air. Falcone hustling, he's not going to get there. That's Lipsky with the ball. Falcone does get there. And Shawnee's going to have its first corner kick. New faces for both teams here. We're going to see Eric Fay, number 4, come in for Lenape. We're going to see number 16, Aiden O'Brien. And that's about it right now. So we have our new faces for Shawnee, and here is the first Shawnee goal kick, or the corner kick. Tapped by Pringle. Nothing much there. Day. Easy save. Day to O'Brien. Looked like Bloomberg sends it down. Tyler Wynn. Doing what his coach told him to do. Add a little bit more pressure. Unger to shoot it away for Shawnee. Nick Falcone on the far side. Off on Lenape. James Murray, first time with the ball today. That was Billy Bruno down for a little bit. Got back up. He's looking fine. Nick McAndrew, number 5, the junior. Sends it toward his players. And that ball's going to go way out of there.
So past the halfway point here in the first half, not much in the way of offensive chances other than the one by Shawnee early in the contest. A couple of corner kicks for Lenape, one corner kick for Shawnee that really didn't materialize anything. And like I said in the opener, this is a defensive struggle as I expected. Neither team can really break free with anything.
James Murray sending it in for Shawnee. Kane Feutner pushing it up against McAndrew. Display by Ryan Artis. To Feutner. Too much for Artis there from Feutner. Gambino will come on to win. Aiden O'Brien trying to set up their collision between Unger and Eckerly. Lenape sends it on the far side. Passing around, trying to get past that tough Shawnee defense. Looks like Bailey Pringle.
Stopped nicely there by Altieri.
Falcone. Tough defense from Wynn. Funk sends it over to James Murray. Nice hustle on the far side by Eric Fay. James Murray to send it in here for Shawnee. Eric Fay, after that nice play, he'll take a breather. Jonathan Landis also taking a breather. Number 6. Loose ball here. Taken by McAndrews. James Murray at midfield going against Wynn.
Nice takeaway by Wynn. Kind of slid right inside between the player and the ball.
At midfield by Lenape. And it'll be out of bounds on James Murray. Elkley. That looks like Lipsky. Send it in. Brett Funk heads it. 50-50 ball. Nice play by Mogan to Pietro Gambino. You could tell Longshaw just wants to get on that break, but hasn't had that opportunity.
Now defended nicely there by number 5, McAndrew.
Mogan, good pass to Feutner. Longshaw heads it down. Oh, got the ball here. Oh, nice block by Colin Day.
Yeah, Day came way out, cutting down the angle, and he went down into the slide and blocked the shot.
Mogan to Artist.
That was a better scoring chance than on his header.
Funk and Murray. Gambino. Defended by McAndrew. Feutner immediately kicked away. Falcone double team there. Gets away, still has the ball. Sends it over to Feutner. Feutner with a nice shot, but
Day with a save.
Yep.
Couple of nice saves in a row there by Colin Day.
Definitely one of the top shots he's had to face.
Yeah, Shawnee picking up a little bit of the offense here now as we get under 14 minutes remaining in the first half of a scoreless tie here at Shawnee High School.
Longshaw for his second corner kick. Falcone, headed by Falcone. Is blocked by Lenape right in front of the net. That was Jack Bloomberg.
Kick's good. I believe he led right through the uprights.
Oh, there you go.
Unfortunately, you don't get 3 points in soccer for it. All you get is a goal kick for Lenape.
Elkley, take a break. Ryan Artist. Defense played by Billy Bruno. There's Mogan. Mogan, too much speed there. Got tripped up by Billy Mulvihill. Mogan, here's an opening for JT Mogan. He shoots and blocked. Oh!
That one goes over the goal.
Brian Lorenz on the second chance.
Golden opportunities there. First from Mogan, and then for Lorenz. And Mogan was stopped by Day, and the ball came right to Lorenz, but you know, it had some bounce to it, and he couldn't get it on top of it to keep it low enough to get inside under the crossbar. So I'd say Lenape dodged a bullet, maybe 2 bullets right there.
Nick McAndrews gets into the play. Mogan will send it over to Murray. Brett Funk. Mogan with defense played by Lipsky and Wynn. There's Unger on the far side with Sean Donnelly. Stepping in here is going to be Jonathan Landis for Lenape. Shawnee goal kick coming out. Going to be Leo Christo. Tyler Wynn on the far side battling for the ball against Lorenz.
Leo Christo's a golfer for Lenape. I know him from coaching at Seneca. Very nice young man. Also obviously a very good soccer player to be on the varsity level for this team.
Looks to be last touch by Lenape, so Dan Unger is going to get the call to throw it in. Here it comes to Nick Falcone. Ball's up. Lorenz races for it. Not able to get it. Billy Bruno keeping Lorenz from getting that.
Throw in for the Indians. Under 10 minutes now remaining in the first half. Couple of substitutions for the Renegades. It's like Pringle coming back in along with Goodson and Goldman.
Stepping out, it's going to be Artis, Pietro Gambino for the first time, and Brian Lorenz. Falcone. Send it to Feutner. Out on Lenape. Tough play there by Goodson. Maybe wanted a little bit of a call there. Maybe a tad of a push from an Indian, but regardless, it is Lenape ball.
I think the referee deemed that it was not either not intentional or did not hurt the formation of a play.
Jackson Goldman past the 20. surrounded by red. There's Longshaw. Tough for him. Colin Day will grab that.
Like the aggressiveness of Colin Day there to go get the ball.
Let's see if Lenape here can push it as their coach is wanting, and we're not seeing a lot of it.
No, we're not. They're back on their heels, it looks like. Almost like they're afraid to make a mistake. And when you play that way, it tends to lead to mistakes.
Scott, what kind of things can cause a team to just not as push it as much? You think it's more fatigue?
No, I don't think it's fatigue's not a factor at all. I think it's the fact that they don't want to leave a position open. You know, if you try to push too much on offense and you get caught down low, especially a midfielder, then it gives Shawnee a possibility of an odd man rush, which we saw when they really had two on the goalie when they made the great save and the rebound came to Lawrence. And I think Lenape, it's not the way Coach Foley wants them to be playing, but I think they realized, said to themselves, look, we can't get caught upfield anymore. That's going to lead to, not very many scoring chances, and eventually if you have a breakdown in one goal, and that's going to be all she wrote. So I look, as we get into 7.5 minutes to go in the half, if it stays like this, I look for Coach Foley to tell his team at halftime, look, you need to press the issue here. Because there's just, goalkeeper Mark Hartman just isn't, there's not a lot of activity going Mark Hartman's way today, Jimmy.
Dan Unger on the far side going against, looks like Wynn.
I think they're going to get Unger there. Yep. Ball bounding up into the far stands.
Sean Donnelly on the far side.
And this looks like a direct. The way he pointed his hand, a direct kick means this could be kicked directly into the goal without having to touch anyone else on your team. That's a pretty tough angle, but I've seen goals scored from this angle. Started out at the far post and hook it back. No, and that's just
too far.
Too far.
Too far from Sean Donnelly, the senior who's got 2 goals and an assist this year. Mark Hartman boots to Caleb Longshaw at midfield. Billy Mulvihill, tough play for him. And there's Goldman on the far side against guys that are a little taller than him, so there's a little bit of a challenge here.
Yeah, and triple teamed. And then Lenape, a bit of an unforced error there, kicking it out of the sideline. They had a 3-on-1 defensive advantage there. Now Shawnee's got a throw in. Looks like Unger coming down to take the throw. And now they can set up an offensive play here. We saw Unger very powerful on the throw-ins from the other side. I wouldn't expect anything different here.
Unger with the throw-in to Falcone. Misses that. There's Mogan. Falcone.
Oh, that was close to a handball.
Yep. Good defense by Lenape. Falcone. Stopped by Colin Day.
That was very close to a handball on McAndrew in the penalty area. That would have been a penalty kick. Must have hit just under his forearm into the body. It was close.
Aiden O'Brien. Get called for that. Bailey Pringle. Nick Falcone to send it. Or it's going to look like Unger. He sends it to Feutner. Yep. Longshaw going for the ball. Stopped by Day. McAndrew gets it started for Lenape. And have a substitute for Shawnee. Number 3 will step in, Brian Lorenz. Number 9, Ramey Eckley, step in for Lenape. Going to try to help boost their team's confidence as Tyler Wynn steps out for Lenape and Nick Falcone steps out for Shawnee. Mogan at midfield. Lenape's got it now. Aiden O'Brien helped gather that ball.
Pass behind Lipsky. Going to roll all the way over the end line, it looks like. Looks like it'll be a goal kick for Shawnee.
Hartman sends it to Mogan. Trying to get it to Mogan, at least. Murray played defense against him will be Lipsky. Feutner to Mogan. There's Longshaw.
Marked nicely by the Indians.
Billy Bruno sends that up and away. Again, Mogan. Feutner's run there stopped by Mulvihill. Longshaw heads it over to Goodson. Goodson to Pringle. Elkley. Defense on the far side. And defense from Jack Bloomberg. He forces the ball out. Unger to Lorenz. Goodson. Defense being played on him by Jack Bloomberg. Good defense. And it'll get Lenape the ball.
Well played over there to prevent Shawnee from any sort of cross, and eventually the good pressure forced Shawnee to try to make a play, and then kicked it over the end line.
Nick Andrew.
About a minute and a half left. First half today. No score, and the better chances have gone Shawnee's way, Jimmy. But still on the board, you have nothing, and that can be frustrating. You know, you've had two or three real good chances for Shawnee, and as we talked about in the opener, you know, if you get those scoring chances, you've got to take advantage of them. And they have not. And not that they were super great scoring chances, but they did have a couple really good ones. Thanks to Colin Day, the score remains 0-0. So as an offense, you got to wonder, man, what more can we do? And, you know, the scary thing is you've probably outplayed them in this first half from Shawnee's standpoint, but have nothing really to show for it. And so one mistake, one missed assignment, anything like that, and, you know, Lenape gets a goal, and oh my gosh, it's 1-0, and you start thinking mentally, can we score on these guys?
Pringle will retrieve with about 30 seconds to go in the first half. Brett Funk. Maybe Shawnee with one last little run here. Try to score, or maybe Lenape.
Broken up nicely by Mulvihill.
Sean Donnelly at midfield. Sends it to Lipsky. Lipsky over off of Brett Funk's face.
And I'm not sure there's even enough time left to get the corner kick off, because we're down to 2-1. And that's the end of the first half. So as we expected, and as I thought we might, it's been a very strong defensive battle by both of these squads. The better scoring chances and the territorial edge probably went to Shawnee for the first 40 minutes. You don't get any goals for that unless you put the ball in the back of the net. And Lenape really didn't have, other than the corners, and they didn't come close to, you know, really scoring there. They really haven't had an offensive chance, a solid offensive chance. Mark Hartman, excuse me, I almost said Mike Hartman. Mark Hartman has not been tested. Colin Day, on the other hand, has come up with some very nice saves. Shawnee's probably had 3 or 4 chances, and 2 of those being really good chances. So you see our score at halftime. The Lenape Indians 0, the Shawnee Renegades 0.
And we will be right back with the second half.
Today's game on LDTV Sports, sponsored by Deborah Heart and Lung Center, where experience matters. 800-555-1990. www.deborah.org. Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. All the best, all right here. 215-336-3003 or on the web at www.pwpm.net. Comegno Law Group, specializing in general and special education law, representing individuals, families, public boards of education, and independent schools. 888-313-IDEA or ComegnoLaw.com. Medford Village Car Care, serving the area's car care needs for 30 years. Located at 11 North Main Street in Medford. 609-654-4023. And on the web at mvcc-nj.com. Rothman Institute, the official team physicians of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers. For orthopedic excellence, think Rothman first. www.rothmaninstitute.com. And by Heads Up, Eyes Forward. Please never drive distracted. www.lrhsd.org/headsup. For information on how your business can become a sponsor of LDTV Sports, contact Joe Malagrana, LDTV Underwriting Manager, at 609-268-2000, extension 8680, or by email jmalagrana@lrhsd.org.
Lunch and Learn is new, but it's a lot of fun and it gives a lot of opportunities for kids to do what they want with their time. I do a lot of my homework and I study a lot during Lunch and Learn, and I can also socialize with a lot of different groups of friends.
I really like it, and it seems like the students really like it too. It's nice to have a longer period to eat. That's always wonderful. But then it can also be used for other things like lab time, meeting with students for extra help, giving a test or quiz makeup, or club meetings too. So that's made it really useful.
I'm personally a fan of Lunch and Learn because during it you can have meetings with different clubs and everything, and being an athlete, it's hard to make meetings after school, so it frees up my time after school for that.
There's movement throughout the building, so they may eat in one spot and then migrate to a different area. They're getting a lot of stuff done. Some of them are just hanging out and just having some downtime in their day too, which I think our kids really need.
They don't have to be nervous about like who's in their lunch period or not having any friends like in their actual lunch, because everybody has lunch at the same time.
There's a lot less stress. There's a lot less pressure to, rush through your lunch and worry about getting to your next class on time, because you now have so much more time and you can relax a lot more.
In the past, it was just such a race for students to get down to the cafeteria and actually get a meal and sit down and eat.
Sometimes you would be in line the entire time and you would get 5 minutes to eat. So this is a lot better. There's a lot more time.
I think the students really like it. They like having that break in the middle of the day to get caught up on homework, get ready for the next class, get things done. It is amazing to see how many students are actually, in the media center or in the cafeteria using the time to get some work done.
It gives you that extra time that you might need with a teacher if you need to go over a lesson one more time.
Lunch and Learn has given us a lot of flexibility in what we're able to do to meet with students who want to come in and study, go over questions, problems, whatever it might be, when they might not ordinarily be able to come in before school or after school.
It's a great opportunity for students to have that one-on-one tutoring, even if it's only for 5 minutes or it's for the full 50 minutes. They're able to come in and ask for help on anything, whether it's homework or an upcoming quiz or a test.
Having lunch in the middle of the day makes me feel a lot more refreshed when I come back for the second half, and it's like the second half goes by a lot faster, I feel like, because you've had this big break right in the middle of it, so it's good.
I do feel a lot more refreshed just because I get to relax a little bit instead of just rushing from one class to the other.
It gives us more time to unwind and look at like previous classes in the day and also plan ahead for future classes that we have.
This year's schedule definitely gives us a lot more freedom. I mean, you had to kind of make the best use of your time between eating, studying, going to clubs, getting extra help, and then just socializing with your friends. And I think it really has made students more independent with their time.
I think Lunch and Learn does help prepare students for college, especially because college is all about time management. So it allows them to have kind of that freedom during the school day to start practicing those skills of, all right, I have an hour of my time to do anything I want. Am I going to prioritize schoolwork? Am I going to prioritize socializing? And they can start to make those decisions in a high school setting.
And we are back here at Shawnee High School for the beginning of the second half.
Both teams coming back from their little break that they get at half, about 10 minutes worth, and certainly I'm sure both coaches had a lot to say. I think Coach Franks probably would have just said, look, keep playing the way you are, but you got to finish. You got to finish. All right, you've had a couple opportunities and you got to finish them. Coach Foley, I mean, I've known Coach Foley. He's the golf coach for a lot of years, and right now we're going to send it to, Jimmy's going to send it to the sideline report.
It's now time for the AXA Equitable Sideline Report, providing millions of customers with life insurance, annuities, and other needs-based products since 1859. AXA Equitable, be life confident, at 732-452-7275. Now let's send it over to Bonnie Brager with the report.
Sorry. Huh? Someone say my name. Now? Thanks, guys. I had the chance to speak with Coach Franks from Shawnee, and he said that he's proud of his team so far. He thinks that they've had an equal chance between them and Lenape, and there's been even chances and possessions of the ball. Lenape has had some really good goal blocks, and there's been a good team defense for both sides, so there's been little chance for scoring, but the game has been very aggressive, and I bet it will continue to be. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Bonnie. Nice job there.
So, Becca, as I was saying, I bet Coach, I've known Coach Foley for many years as the golf coach at Lenape, and, you know, working with him on golf tournaments and that stuff, and I've watched many of his soccer games. He's got to have said to his team, look, we got to have more pressure on offense. You know, we can't rely on Colin Day, who was phenomenal in the first half, but we can't rely on Colin because Colin can't score from all the way back there. So somebody's got to step up on offense for the Indians.
So here we go with JT Mogan to Caleb Longshaw, back to Mogan. Mogan coming out, firing here. Over to Longshaw, good opportunity here, and Colin Day's going to block it.
Corner kick for Shawnee, and we're less than 20 seconds in, and we already have a Colin Day save again. And the weird thing was Lenape actually had possession of the ball to start. You know, they had the kick.
That's right. Caleb Longshaw for a corner. Scott, Colin Day is lining up more, like you said,
yeah,
on the far post.
Yeah, that's the way you see most goalies. And Shawnee is not crowding the middle, you know, around the canal. So a lot of motion by the Renegades. Oh, nice play. That looked like Lipsky that headed that out of harm's way.
And Aiden O'Brien sends it out off of Lenape. Nick Falcone coming in for the throw-in. Mogan right against the line. Handcuffed a little there. Jack Bloomberg. There's a loose ball. Another one, Mogan heads that. Out by Gambino. McAndrew to midfield, where Wynn could not grasp with his feet there. And looks like Bailey Pringle. Brett Funk over to Gambino. Tapped out by Landis. And Wynn to throw in.
You know, it's interesting. Right now I'm just looking at the field. From the 30 in, there's 7 Shawnee defenders and only 4 Lenape attackers. That doesn't set up very well to score goals.
Aiden O'Brien fighting against Mogan. Gives Mogan a little push. Seems unfazed. Goldman gets hit off the chest. Scott, what are both of these teams going to need to do to get away with a win?
Well, you know, the ridiculous answer would be put the ball in the goal, but, you know, to do that, I don't know. Lenape's going to just have to have more guys in the offensive end. I don't know how you can score with 4 against 7. Shawnee has had the better chances, and Shawnee needs to take advantage of it. So, you know, they just need to keep playing, and when they get one of those opportunities like they had in the first 20 seconds of this half, you got to score. You know, maybe they're not going to solve Collin Day today, and, you know, we're going to sit here till, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning and have a 0-0 game. You know, we don't really do that, but they do go into overtime and that kind of stuff. And, you know, right now, if Collin Day continues the incredible play he's got, I don't know if either team can score.
Mogan with the ball. Gets tapped out by Landis.
But Lenape needs to make something happen from midfield to the 30. There's just nothing there. You know, I know Cherry Hill East is not, you know, in the caliber of a Township and a Shawnee and maybe even a Cherokee, but they're not an awful team. And you score 5 goals against Cherry Hill East, and I mean, quite honestly, nothing. You know, they haven't come close to a goal. They haven't come close to having a shot on goal, really. I mean, some of the balls have rolled into Mark Hartman's hands, but even on their 2 corner kicks they had in the first half, the ball never got through. So, I don't know. I don't know what you do. I really don't.
It's a good point here as you bring
That's
up
the reason
goalie.
why I don't coach soccer.
It's a good point as you bring up the goalie. There is a goalie switch here for Shawnee as Mark Hartman will step out and Ryan Heilman will take over. What do you think the coaches are thinking behind that? Goalie change unscored.
Give both guys time to play.
Right.
Both are seniors. That's the biggest thing. They're both seniors. They've both put their time into the program. And I'm sure at the beginning of the year, Coach Frank said, look, you're going to split games. You're going to play this game. You're going to play that game. We're going to see a lot of split games. Both are quality goalkeepers, I might add. It's not a bad problem to have, Jimmy.
Falcone battling against 2 guys. He takes tumble. Lorenz on the far side regaining possession. Charge here led by Sean Donnelly of Lenape, helped out by Aiden O'Brien.
There's your opportunity. Oh, nice
nice
play.
play, yeah,
by
Ryan.
Ryan Hallman, nice play. Because Donnelly was licking his chops there. He thought it was coming through to him, and Hallman just jumped right in front of him. Nicely done. Like that aggressive play.
This 2 goalie system that Shawnee's running, it shows right there that gives both guys opportunities to show what they got and see who really deserves the starting job.
Yeah, and as the season unwinds and you get in, you know, these are 2 playoff teams. We know that. They're both going to make it. So, you know, one goalie may distance himself from the other one because when it comes down to playoff time, you know, it's a long way away yet. But I don't know if you want to do goalie changes in the playoffs.
Brian Lorenz. Sent it and it's in! Score! Not the way that Shawnee expected to score.
6:45 in the first half, or second half, 6:45 into the second half, and the Renegades have finally cracked, or solved, if you will, Collin Day, and it wasn't textbook, as they say.
That looks like Brian Lorenz, the sophomore. Going to see a handful of substitutions for Lenape. As we see Aiden O'Brien step out. Andrew Lipsky. Fresh legs for Lenape. As Caleb Longshaw's back right to what he's doing. Mogan over to Pringle. Dan Goodson. Mogan at midfield, sends it over to Funk. And Dan Unger. Sending it around, and Lenape will boot it away out of harm's way. Gambino to Mogan. Pringle. No, that was Goodson. Dan Goodson on that shot. Far left. Funk and Guieri. Hustle from Longshaw. And Day gets it out of harm's way, sends it toward the bleachers. Wow. Eric Fay is going to step back in at the next pause. Mogan towards some Lenape defenders. That's Sean Donnelly on the far side with Brian Lorenz, the goal scorer. Out on Shawnee, and Eric Fay will step in. Tyler Wynn, come back out. Give him a rester. Off of Lorenz. Thrown in by Lenape, right back into Lenape's arms. Longshaw. Physicality over there by Fay. Bailey Pringle looks like he's having a little trouble running. As Dan Goodson gets in the possession and right out. Jack Bloomberg right on defense. Looks like he'll throw it in too.
I don't think anybody notices Pringle is laboring, to put it mildly.
Jackson Goldman.
Oh no, it's Goldman, isn't it? That's hurt. Or not 100% right now.
Right.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see
definitely.
it. He's got it.
Yeah,
Yep. Now he's trying to alert the coaching staff, and they see it now. Quickly getting up number 15.
Ryan Artis.
Yep.
Mogan over to Goodson.
Yeah, he's Jackson Goldman struggling. Oh, now he says no. I think you'll see Coach Franks take him out anyway.
Maybe pull a little Kobe Bryant. Play injured, but being at the high school level, have to check for safety precaution.
Yeah, well, you know, he may feel a little bit better, but I think you need to just let him sit and find out what it is. Did he twist an ankle? Did he just step wrong?
Nick McAndrew, the junior, sends it toward midfield. Nick Falcone was the softer pass to Mogan. Mogan trying to do the best that he can with that. Now we have Longshaw and back to Mogan. Here goes Mogan. All the way over, headed.
Oh, he got a good kick, but it happened to hit right into his own teammate.
That was Falcone on that try. Again, another one. Missed there by Longshaw. And a whistle. Another handful of Lenape Indians coming in. We're going to see Aiden O'Brien, number 16. Number 19, Tyler Wynn. And number 10, Andrew Lipsky. Brett Funk's ball will be saved by Lorenz. Looks like he wants to score another one. Off on Shawnee and Billy Mulvihill. Toss it in. Guerrieri will come out, along with number 4, Eric Fay. Artist over to Longshaw. Longshaw couldn't get a grasp on that.
No, nicely defended there by Lenape, but Shawnee right back on the attack again.
Pringle, some good footwork. Over to Goodson. Tight defense there. Nice defense, but they got him.
Yeah, they're going to get him for a push there. Bloomberg.
Yeah. We have seen solid defense out of Jack Bloomberg on both sides of the ball today. Sides of the field. Mogan sends it over to Falcone, hit by Artist. And Lorenz
just wide.
to the
Hitting
left.
for his second of the game.
Brian Lorenz going for his second goal. Too much to the left there. Bloomberg. Elkley. Falzone and O'Brien. Goalie didn't, or referee didn't like something.
I think they got Pringle there. There's a little push from behind.
Nick Andrew. See if Lenape can get their first offensive, well, second offensive push here against Ryan Heilman. You remember the Shawnee goalie Ryan Heilman, who stepped in for the second half, made a very nice play last time he was pressured. Pringle weaving between guys. And here's Wynn. Tyler Wynn.
Unforced error there, which you don't see often.
Sean Donnelly to Wynn. Wynn whiffed a little there. Substitutions here. Going to have Kane Feutner, number 23, come in for Caleb Longshaw. And Dan Goodson is going to step out for James Murray. Pringle, on the far line. Well, there's a nice setup by Lorenz. Feutner.
A nice move.
Looking over to Artist.
Oh, just too far behind him. Came back to him, though.
Feutner, another one to Pringle. Pringle falling as he passes, and that's sent out by Bloomberg. Sean Donnelly. Bloomberg again. Bloomberg and Falcone. And yeah, too much from Bloomberg there. Scott, what do you think we're going to see in the last, or heading toward the last 20 minutes? What do you think we're going to see from Lenape?
They got to push more offense. They got to push more offense, which on the other side of that coin may leave them a little more vulnerable on defense. But what's the difference whether you lose 1-0 or 2-0? If you don't score, you're not going to extend it into overtime. So at some point, I don't know if it'll be yet, but I imagine in the last 10, 12 minutes of the game, you'll see a real strong push. And as it gets even lower into single digits and down into 5 and 4 minutes, then you'll really see a push. But Shawnee has, they've just been very strong all game on both ends of the field.
We've seen great defense played by Dan Unger and Brett Funk for Shawnee today to keep Lenape quiet on the offensive battle. Toward midfield. Lorenz fighting for it against Donnelly, but Donnelly wins. Donnelly with Mogan on him. Mogan, nice play, but Donnelly steps away with it. Donnelly over to Elkley, and that's out. Heilman. Nice boot toward midfield. It's played by Brian Lorenz. Lenape will kick it right out of harm's way. Lorenz over to Falcone on the near side. Pringle. Ball picked up there by Altieri. And out on him also.
All right, so we are at the halfway point in half number 2. The Shawnee goal here in this half. They have a 1-0 lead over Lenape. And a throw in their offensive end of the field.
Dan Unger to Pringle.
Nice attempt there.
Yep. So we've talked about how Lenape has to get back into this game. How is Shawnee going to keep Lenape from doing that?
Well, you're going to keep attacking. The best defense in soccer is a good offense, but a smart offense. And they've clogged up the middle all day. Lenape hasn't been able to, but a handful of times, penetrate beyond the 30. So clogging up the midfield area, not giving Lenape any opportunities, and taking opportunities when you can in their end of the field.
Falcone. That was Lorenz over with Longshaw. Bloomberg playing tight defense.
Ball goes off Shawnee, so it'll be a goal kick for Lenape.
Lenape, 4-on-4 here. Nice play by Nick Falcone. Stop that rush right away. Over to Mogan. To Gambino. Mogan, good header. Sean Donnelly to Bloomberg. Lorenz playing defense. Mogan and Lorenz stop Bloomberg. There's Wynn. Donnelly. Gambino. Ryan Artis. Good defense for Shawnee. Lenape still staying strong. Bloomberg, Donnelly, Wynn. And Nick Falcone sends it away. Kane Feutner puts it into the hands of Colin Day. Colin Day with the boot. Wynn coming. Shawnee ball. Brian Lorenz and Longshaw tempting for that ball.
Yeah, McAndrew did a nice job there of taking the ball away before either of the Shawnee defenders could get to it.
Andrew Lipsky.
Looks like Jonathan Landis and Jack Guerreri are getting ready to check in. Eric Fay lining up, so Lenape going to make 3 changes here shortly.
Lorenz, close, over the net.
Tough angle shot there. And here comes Guerreri and Landis and Fay for the Indians. Christou, O'Brien, and Wynn come out. .5 minutes now left in the second half. Still a 1-goal Shawnee lead.
Mogan at midfield toward Artis with Gambino to help. Landis playing tight defense on Gambino. Guerreri also on the field too now, and Colin Day grabs that. 15 minutes to go here at Shawnee High School as the Shawnee Renegades are leading the Lenape Indians 1-0. With a goal scored from the sophomore Brian Lorenz.
All right, deep throw in here for Lenape inside the 15. Looks like Nick McAndrew is going to take the throw in.
Nick McAndrew throws it in.
Falcone.
Looking for Sam Bono on the play. Couldn't get to him, though.
Looks like this one's going to be headed out by Falcone, and now going to be a corner for the Indians.
That'll be Lipsky.
Again, in the defensive end, though, Shawnee has numbers.
Here goes Lipsky.
Too low to get through.
Headed out by Kane Feutner.
Yeah, easily headed out. I think Coach Foley would want that ball with more altitude, more height, yeah. Still going to be a Lenape throw-in.
Nick McAndrews. McAndrew, the junior, number 5, tosses it in.
There's a loose ball.
There you go.
Nice. Headed in there by Fay. Hammond with the first real save that a Shawnee goalie's had to make.
Real deep ball. Off the back of a Lenape player.
And off the back of Altieri. Which turned out to be a great play.
Lipsky's got it. With Unger on defense, and Unger takes it away.
Now you see more Lenape attackers with 12 under 13 to go. Now you're seeing more Lenape attackers inside the 20. That's what I mean by the push. Oh, and there, oh, and Lipsky just couldn't settle it fast enough. There's a big drive, but that's going to be a field goal in football, but nothing in soccer.
That shot looked to be from Billy Bruno, and it was.
It looks like Dan Goodson and Bailey Pringle check back in for the Indians. Or for the Renegades, I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, and they're going to have Brian Lorenz and JT Mogan step out. Pietro Gambino at midfield. Nick Falcone. Dan Goodson. Stepping out for Shawnee is going to be, or Lenape, looks to be Guerreri. Hit on the far side by Jonathan Landis. Goodson hustles up for the ball to be rolled today.
Sonny Goodson just looked skyward like, oh, I just missed him. I had him open, and I just missed him.
Falcone against
Lipsky.
Yeah, Lipsky. Dan Goodson. Right off of Billy Bruno. Falcone to Longshaw. Artist to Kane Feuder.
Left side looks like Murray over there.
Yep.
Double teamed. And we have a foul or an out ball. Maybe an out ball. Nope, looks like a foul. Nope, no foul. Throw in. Oh, yes, it is a foul. I think even the players were a bit confused. They picked it up, put it down, walked over the sideline, put it down, picked it up.
Pietro Gambino.
No, it is a foul. Now it is going to be a kick. 9.5 minutes remaining. Second half. 1-0 Renegades. Looking to add more. Oh no, headed out nicely by the Indians.
Goodson to Murray. Murray shot way up. Colin Day.
Oh,
wrong bounce there from Funk. Heilman easily snags that. Longshaw. Nothing there from.
No, Altieri with a nice play there to block off Longshaw and then actually take the ball away.
Longshaw all surrounded by the Lenape Indians. Bulva Hill. And too high. That header from Dan Goodson.
Yeah, nice try. Remember, the opening chance of the game was a Goodson header. That one high. The first one of the game was wide. But he seems to put himself in a position where if the ball comes to him, he's going to get a scoring opportunity. I like to see that.
Eric Fay, Nick McAndrews, and Jonathan Landis all taking a seat for Lenape. Falcone to Ribeiro. Ribeiro staying with the ball. Ref didn't like it though.
Nah, a little too much arm action around the torso.
Jack Bloomberg. Kicks it. Hit by a Shawnee player. Looked like maybe Dan Unger to evacuate that ball. Mulvihill to pass it in, and coming in for Lenape is going to be Mick Andrews, right back in. As Kappa Casale comes out. Mark, the junior. Bloomberg or O'Brien up top. Far pass to Lipsky. Lipsky looking for an open man. He's got Bloomberg. Falcone gets right on him. Falcone with a nice play. And too much though.
All right, be interesting to see how many guys the Indians are going to put in the attack zone here. They've had 2 and 3 back at the 40, and this time they only have 1 at the 40 and 1 at the 20. And the rest are in that, what I would call in the scoring zone, or the penalty area as it's referred to.
Jack Bloomberg sends it in.
I think it went through everybody without being touched, and it did. The referee points Shawnee ball.
Aiden O'Brien went for it. Obviously didn't touch it though. Well, maybe he did.
If he did, it just skimmed off him and continued on its same trajectory. It certainly didn't change their direction.
Kane Feutner gains possession. To Longshaw.
Oh, nice give
Back
and
to
go.
Feutner.
Just out of Feutner's reach.
Yep, too much.
And there's Bloomberg all the way back there on defense after taking the kick from the other end.
Good defense from Bloomberg. That was Billy Bruno to send that out of the territory. Ribeiro going for it.
I think we'll get a foul there on 16, O'Brien. Under 5 remaining in the second half, and now the push has to come. Every time you get the ball, I think you got to look some sort of break if you're a Lenape player. If you're a Shawnee player, there's no sense in rushing now, you know what I mean? Jimmy?
Yeah.
No sense in hustling
Mogan,
now.
yeah, Mogan's taking his time.
Dump it in, chase it.
Right.
If you got possession and you got open passing lanes, take advantage of it. Don't give it away.
Heilman's got to make sure that he stays on top of it for the 4 minutes. Make sure they don't catch him sleeping, and same with Day, just for that insurance. Gonna have to see, Scott, if Lenape leans on a certain player to push them through, but it doesn't look like they have their decision made.
Well, your best attacker in terms of goals for Lenape this year has been Donnelly and Lipsky. They have a pair of goals apiece for the team this year. So you've got to think if you're going to pick a guy, it's going to have to be one of those two, that if they're going to crack the scoreboard, it's going to be one of those two. But it looks like Shawnee possession.
Looks like Caleb Longshaw.
Shawnee corner. I wasn't sure if it was a throw-in or a corner. And again, another corner. Interesting strategy there by Shawnee. They didn't try the typical corner where you kick it towards the goal. They have 2 guys over there. One is Longshaw, and I can't tell.
Mogan?
You might be right. Yes, it is. Now there looks like a little more traditional corner. Nope, here comes Mogan now. Interesting. Comes away with it.
Yeah. Longshaw did come away with it.
Oh, when it hit it.
Wow.
Hit off a Lenape player, and it looked like Day was in a hurry to pick it up and get rid of it, and just kind of took his eye off it and almost rolled in the goal. That would have been tragic, because he's played a marvelous game. 2.5 minutes now.
Pringle to Kane. Futner.
Knocked out of bounds by the Indians.
Altieri.
Well, you're under 2.5 to go. Shawnee's got the ball in your end. It's not exactly what you would script up to try to tie the game.
Futner to Pringle.
Confronted by Lipsky.
Yep. Lipsky and Bloomberg have done both a great job on defense for Lenape today.
Ball goes out off of Shawnee, so it's a Lenape throw as we hit the 2-minute mark. We got a foul now on Shawnee.
1:53. And we're going to take a quick second here to thank everybody part of the LDTV crew. Okay, Owen Volkerick, Matt Mathis, Sean Herb, Josh Gladstone, Liam Keller, Anthony Pinto, Talon Loriello, Madison Heaton, Samson Gutworth, Zachary Gold, Jared Herman, and our great sideline reporter, Bonnie Brager. And your announcers here, Scott Glossner and Jimmy Freeze.
And as they say at hockey games, last minute of play, in this case, the half.
Shawnee ball.
Ball off Shawnee, ball off Lenape. It'll be a Shawnee throw. And again, no rush here whatsoever.
Foul.
Goes long.
Yep.
Nice, smart play there. Well, now the pressure's got to come because you got 30 seconds.
Lipsky.
Look at that shot. Look, Shawnee just takes it away. They're trying to just hold the ball. They don't care if they score now. There's only got 30 seconds to go. See if he doesn't cross it to the middle. Nice play by Futner. All right, Lenape's got to push here.
Bloomberg. Mogan putting that to an end.
And as they've done all game, they clog up the middle.
And Scott.
That's going to do it.
That will do it here at Shawnee High School.
You know, Jimmy, we talked in the opening, and I said 1, maybe 2 goals is all we're going to see today, and it was 1 goal is all the Renegades needed. A strong might not be a strong enough word, defensive performance today by the Renegades. Indians played tough. They just didn't get enough offensive chances. And without Colin Day's really masterful performance in goal, this could have been a 3 or 4 goal game.
And we saw Shawnee get their revenge on Lenape as Lenape went 2-0 against Shawnee last year. It'll make Shawnee 2-1 on the season, and it'll drop Lenape down to 1-2. And to purchase or to watch today's broadcast, you can go online at youtube.com/Lenape District TV, or to purchase this copy, you can go to lrhsd.org/LDTV copies.
Next game will be varsity boys soccer with the Seneca Golden Eagles going to Cherokee to take on the Chiefs.
You can check out the full schedule for LDTV at www.lrhsd.org/LDTV. That shows our final score here at Shawnee High School, with Shawnee scoring that 1 goal by Brian Lorenz and Lenape nothing.
So as the teams shake hands and go to their proper ways, we'll take a break and come back with our play and player of the game.
School year, the Lenape Regional High School. Today's game on LDTV Sports, sponsored by Deborah Heart and Lung Center, where experience matters. 800-555-1990. www.deborah.org. Philadelphia Wholesale Produce Market. All the best, all right here. 215-336-3003. Or on the web at www.pwpm.net. Comegno Law Group, specializing in general and special education law, representing individuals, families, public boards of education, and independent schools. 888-313-IDEA or ComegnoLaw.com. Medford Village Car Care, serving the area's car care needs for 30 years. Located at 11 North Main Street in Medford. 609-654-4023. And on the web at mvcc-nj.com. Rothman Institute, the official team physicians of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers. For orthopedic excellence, think Rothman first. www.rothmaninstitute.com. And by Heads Up, Eyes Forward. Please never drive distracted. www.lrhsd.org/headsup. For information on how your business can become a sponsor of LDTV Sports, contact Joe Malagrana, LDTV Underwriting Manager, at 609-268-2000, extension 8680, or by email jmalagrana@lrhsd.org.
We're back here at Shawnee High School, and it is now time for the Reconstructive Orthopedics Player of the Game at 1-800-896-RECON or on the web at www.reconstructiveortho.com. Let's send it over to Bonnie Brager, standing by with the report there. Looks like Brian Lorenz.
Who scored the winning goal for Shawnee. Hi Brian, how did you approach this game today?
We approached this game because we just came off a big win with Washington Townships. We had to come in with another great win against Lenape. It was a very good team, and we had a lot of chances in the early stages of the game. So.
Okay, thank you. And can you take me through your first goal?
Well, honestly, it was really a cross, so the goalie just kind of misjudged it, I think, and it went over his head and just went in.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Great game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Talking to the sole goal scorer, Brian Lorenz.
Very humble of Brian, and he told it like it was.
It's now time to take a look at the Allstate Good Hands Play of the Game, sponsored by Michael McDyer, CLTC, 609-654-1426, or Michael McDyer at allstate.com. Allstate, you're in good hands. So you see Brian Lorenz.
And there you see it is a cross to try to get in, and it just takes a big, huge bounce and too far back in the goal. He kind of caught him in between, Does he come out and get the ball? Does he play it on a bounce? And I think he just got caught in no man's land, and the bounce was more powerful than he thought. And that's a big difference because they know the bounce here with AstroTurf. Lenape doesn't play on the turf.
There you go, Scott. And that'll do it here at Shawnee High School as Shawnee takes a 1-0 win here from Lenape. That'll do it here. Thank you very much for listening. For Scott Glossner and Jimmy Freeze, that'll be it. Have a good night.
This program was produced by Lenape District Television.
Do you have a plan to increase security in places like that?
The district has up-to-date and well-tested emergency response plans